The BJP, the ruling party at the centre, which takes pride in making sure that all its workers and leaders are kamdars, not namdars, was in for a big embarrassment today. In fact, a double embarrassment. We'll talk about the first one. Kailash Vijayvargiya, who's a prominent leader of the BJP, his son, Kailash Vijayvargiya, who happens to be an MLA from Indore in Madhya Pradesh, was caught on camera in broad daylight, in full public view, beating up a bureaucrat who was merely doing his job with a cricket bat, believe it or not. And not just that, after we confronted Kailash Vijayvargiya, he had the gall to brazen it out and said that Avedan, Nivedan and Dan Danadan is the new philosophy and the line of action that he would take. This is a man who's completely drunk on power. He's now arrested behind bars, but only after Times Now's relentless coverage and Times Now's campaign against people who are drunk on power and take the law into their own hands. Take a look at the video and the sequence, and then we'll play out his reaction, his brazen reaction just before he was arrested. Take a look now.
मैंने उनसे निवेदन भी किया था कि अब सब हो गया है जब मैं पहुंचा कि आप 10 मिनट में यहाँ से चले जाएं, वरना उसके बाद जो भी होगा उसके जिम्मेदार आप स्वयं होंगे। मैंने उन्हें बता दिया था, मगर वो लोग गए नहीं। नगर निगम की आदत हो गई है बहुत गुंडागर्दी दादागिरी करने की, मगर हमें भी इन्हें ठीक करना आता है।
तो मैसेज है आगे भी ऐसा कुछ रहेगा?
अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। अब हम लोग इस पूरे भ्रष्टाचार को, इस गुंडागर्दी को और ये जो धंधेबाजी चल रही है इसको खत्म करके ही दम लेंगे।
क्या आपका बदलाव लगातार ऐसे चलता रहेगा?
देखिए, आवेदन, निवेदन और फिर धनादन, ये हमारा लाइन ऑफ एक्शन है।
If you haven't caught that yet, listen to this one more time. This is the amount of brazenness that this person has showed today when we confronted him. Take a look at this sequence one more time.
देखिए, आवेदन, निवेदन और फिर धनादन, ये हमारा लाइन ऑफ एक्शन है। देखिए, आवेदन, निवेदन और फिर धनादन, ये हमारा लाइन ऑफ एक्शन है। देखिए, आवेदन, निवेदन और फिर धनादन, ये हमारा लाइन ऑफ एक्शन है।
There you go. That's shocking behavior by Kailash Vijayvargiya. But what's even more shocking is the behavior of his father, BJP National General Secretary Kailash Vijayvargiya. When we confronted him and when he was confronted about the transgression of his son, he was even more brazen. Take a look at the reaction of Kailash Vijayvargiya when asked about what his son had done.
हमारे साथ कैलाश विजयवर्गीय खुद इस मुद्दे पर बातचीत करने के लिए मौजूद हैं। कैलाश जी, तस्वीरें अपने आप में बहुत कुछ कह रही हैं। आपका बेटा मौजूदा विधायक बल्ला लेकर वहां पर गुंडागर्दी कर रहा है, आपका रिएक्शन?
मैं भी पार्लियामेंट में हूं, अभी मीटिंग में से बाहर आया हूं, मुझे भी जानकारी नहीं।
लेकिन जो तस्वीरें हम देख रहे हैं वो हम आपको बता दें कि आपके बल्ले ने वहां पर बल्ला लिया हुआ है। निगम के जो अधिकारी हैं वो अतिक्रमण वहां हटाने गए थे, ये उन पर देखिए किस तरह से बल्ले से अटैक कर रहा है। इस पर आप क्या कहेंगे अपने बेटे के बारे में? इस तरह की जो हरकत की गई है सरेआम सबके सामने दिन दहाड़े।
मेरा बेटा कभी भी गलत काम नहीं करता। कोई गलत काम कर रहे होंगे तो उसको सबक दिया होगा उसने। इसे हमारे संस्कार ऐसे नहीं कि हम कोई गलत काम करें।
लेकिन ये कौन से विधायक होते हैं जो कानून अपने हाथ में लेते हैं? बल्ला उनके हाथ में है। एक विधायक की जिम्मेदारी होती है कानून व्यवस्था को कायम करने की, लेकिन जब विधायक खुद बल्ला लेकर लोगों को मारने दौड़े तो उस पर अपने आप में मुझे नहीं लगता कि ये काफी निंदनीय, आपको निंदा करनी चाहिए अपने बेटे की।
आप जज हैं क्या?
लेकिन तस्वीरें तो दिखा रही है कैलाश जी।
आप जजमेंट कर रहे हैं क्या?
जजमेंट बिल्कुल करेंगे। देखिए तस्वीरें अपने आप में दिखा रही है। इस देश में कानून है, सिस्टम है, आप किसी पे बल्ला नहीं उठा सकते।
आप ऐसे फैसला भी नहीं दे सकते। हु आर यू? क्या है आपकी हैसियत?
देखिए आप
फैसला करेंगे किसी विधायक के बारे में?
मेरी हैसियत,
औकात देखिए पहले।
आप तस्वीरें देखिए कैलाश जी, उसके बाद आप जवाब दीजिए।
Media person. This was of course tweeted out by the Congress party's leader Shobha Oza. In that particular phono conversation, we can hear Kailash Vijayvargiya questioning the media, literally shooting the messenger and suggesting that it's the media's fault and it's the media that is distorting something, this story of this grievous nature. Now we want to ask our guests, and joining us tonight is Pratyush Khan, spokesperson of the BJP, also with us Saira Shah Ali, activist, and Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist and political analyst. I'd like to start with you. you, Mr. Pratyush Kant. The Prime Minister has a few favorite words. He keeps using the words namdar for his political opponents. I would like you to tell us today what this particular namdar, Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya, who's not only the son of a famous father, but he's also an elected representative from Indore himself. He's a member of the Legislative Assembly. When he uses words like हमारी philosophy ये है कि हम आवेदन निवेदन और फिर दंडनादन करेंगे, what exactly should we expect from other leaders of the BJP? Is this the kind of work ethic the BJP instills into its MLAs and MPs?
Athar, there is no place of violence in democracy. The visuals which I have seen, see, you have to understand one thing. Athar, what has happened in Madhya Pradesh? You have unimaginable corruption in that state in last 4 months. Now here is the MLA who is surrounded by his people who have voted for him, people who he represents. There is brazen corruption there.
Mr. Pratyush Kant, even if there is corruption, what gives Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya the right to beat up a bureaucrat with a cricket bat? No, I'm sorry. Sir, even if there is corruption, please tell me what gives Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya the right to beat up a bureaucrat doing his job in full public view in broad daylight, then being brazen about it and suggesting कि अब तो यही होगा. This is inexcusable, sir. You are defending the indefensible, sir. You should come out and condemn this man today. The BJP top leadership should come out and condemn this man today. Instead, what we see, Mr. Pratyush Kant, is his father, a famous politician, shooting the messenger, talking to media persons as if we are at fault. And this is inexcusable.
No, that's what I was trying to tell Athar, that in democracy, what BJP stands for, we never ever try to support any kind of violence. Any kind of violence.
But you won't condemn Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya. But
let's look at
the reality, sir. The reality is on our TV screens right now. I'm going to put a simple question to you. Will you, on this show today, on The Nation Wants to Know, condemn Kailash Vijayvargiya for what he has done or not? Yes or no? It's a simple answer.
Athar, that's what I'm trying to tell you, that who will defend anything where violence is involved? Do we ever defend anything where violence is involved in any democracy? But my only request to you is, rather than going for a yes and no answer, you should be large-hearted enough to look at the story in totality. What is happening in that place?
I can't be large-hearted when a politician is beating up a bureaucrat. No. Even if he was pushed to the limit, sir, there is no excuse for using violence for whatever means or for whatever reasons that Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya can think of to beat up somebody in full public view, a public servant with a cricket bat. Now, give me a second to go very quickly to Ashutosh Mishra and Saira Shah Halim as well. Now, it suspiciously looks to me, and I might be wrong, correct me if you feel I'm being wrong here, or unfair to Mr. Kant or the BJP, is that even though the BJP realizes, Saira, that there is something of a transgression that Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya has committed, even then they want us to look at the larger picture, perhaps trying to make an excuse for Mr. Vijayvargiya, perhaps trying to save his political career, I don't know. But there is a feeling that the BJP will not come out and outrightly condemn the actions of a man that are completely inexcusable. I don't care if he's an MLA, I don't care if he was an MP, I wouldn't have cared if he was a minister as well. This is simply inexcusable, Saira.
No, absolutely. If you look at his father, Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya, he is saying that my son is absolutely, above board, and I'm sure something must have instigated this whole situation. That's why he reacted in such a way. So this is exactly, these actions of our leaders gives further credence to mobocracy, to lynchings that are happening across the country, because if legislators and MPs start behaving like hooligans and if they start taking law in their own hands, this gives a larger message to the public that if our leaders can do it, if they can take law in their own hands, it must be perfectly okay. So I think this needs to be taken very strictly, And I feel you cannot, being a public person, take
Absolutely.
a bat and start
It's funny you
trashing,
mentioned this.
a municipal
because I was
officer.
speaking to activists
Appalling
earlier,
this is.
Sarah. I was speaking to activists earlier on this very story, and when we were talking, this came up as well. And Ashutosh Mishra, I'd like you to comment on this. There seems to be, according to that particular activist, I won't name her right now because she's not here to defend herself if somebody attacks her, that there is an unofficial sanction as far as violence is concerned, especially as the activist thought, as far as the BJP elected leaders are concerned, or the mentality of the BJP, because they won a very massive mandate here. Do you also believe there is an unofficial sanction to use violence if it is popular in the eyes of the electorate there? The BJP doesn't really care, or at least certain individuals in the BJP, case in point being Kailash Vijayvargiya, they don't care about rule of law, they don't care about propriety, they don't even care about the police. They just do what they have to do, what they want to do.
There is a saying in Hindi, Saiya bhai kotwal to dar kahe ka. Now Pradhan Sevak is at the center with a majority, and they know that they will be saved this way or that way. And why just talk about Akash? Why not talk about his father? What is his father doing in Bengal? Don't you see all the violence there? Because now Akash has spilled the bean. That De Danadan is their way when they are out of power. That's exactly what is happening in Madhya Pradesh. He has forgotten that BJP was in power there for 15 years. And now suddenly he is talking about corruption, or is it the other way around? Now that corruption is being controlled, he feels frustrated, and he's taking out his anger on a
at this point,
I hope the law takes its course.
Absolutely, and we do hope the law takes its course.
Otherwise, it will embolden all the leaders,
you know,
irrespective
there is still.
I mean, just look at the way Kailash Vijayvargiya was asking, "Tumhari auqat kya hai?" He's asking a journalist,
I'll come to that. I'll come to that also. I'll come to that. Mr. Vijayvargiya also has a history, and I'd like to highlight that in the past also, Mr. Mulchand Bajaj, who was the additional SP of in Madhya Pradesh, was similarly heckled really and assaulted, many believe, by Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya himself. Well, I'll come to that in just a bit here. I have to take a very short break, but after the break, Mr. Pratyush Kant, I'll give you one more chance to condemn this man, and you have time to think about it. We'll come right back after the break. Stay with us.